What's going on, guys? It seems like I haven't done an Injustice 2 video for quite some time, so I think it's about time I get back into doing it, and I'm going to start that off with 5 characters that I personally believe should not be in Injustice 2, and as you can see, they're all on the screen, and I'm going to start off with the number 1, and that's the Joker. So I understand the Joker being in Injustice 1. I get that completely. There were 2 Jokers, so it makes sense. But in Injustice 2, and there's going to be slight spoilers for the story, so if you haven't beaten the story yet or you haven't played through the story, click out of the video now. But in Injustice 2, Joker doesn't even actually exist. He's dead. This is the universe from the evil Superman's reign. And he's dead in that universe. So when he does show up in story mode, it's a hallucination. It's because Scarecrow throws the fear gas at Harley, and she's basically facing her fear. So I don't understand why Joker needed to be in this game. All the gear you can get for him and all that, it just doesn't make any sense to me, in all honesty. And it's a waste of a slot. I do like the look, the hair and everything. He's more, I guess, Suicide Squad ish, kind of. I mean, I get what they tried to go for, but it was just a wasted slot, honestly. And it's very unnecessary to have him in the game. I could think of 10 other villains who would have been great in his place, and it would have finally kind of pushed past, Joker being in Batman's life, basically. Just like with Arkham Knight, Joker's dead, but he still has to make a presence, and it's like the same thing for Injustice 2. He's dead, but he still has to make a presence and be in the game and take up a character slot. And I hope that mistake isn't made in Injustice 3. Second character on my list is Dr. Fate. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me saying that, but he really didn't provide anything for the story. I mean, he'd appear every now and then and just say, there's a threat coming to the world and you guys can't handle it and this and that and you guys are doing this and you guys are doing that, and it his ending was so anticlimactic because he just died from, I mean, once he finally gets back in control of the helmet, he dies pretty much immediately after, if not like maybe a minute or two after, and we never see from him again. And you fight him, what, once or twice in the story mode, and that's about it. So all the gear that you can get for him, it feels just like the Joker, very unnecessary because he had a very minimal impact in the story. And quite honestly, as far as heroes go, he's not even close to being one of my favorites. And it's not like that I dislike him. His playstyle, yes, because people can be complete jerks online and just zone with him, and it's extremely, extremely annoying. And I've kind of hated that about Magic users in fighting games. But Dr. Fate is just another unnecessary character that I feel like it was a wasted slot, honestly. So number 3 on my list, I'm going to go with Green Arrow. Now the reason for that is pretty much the same for the Joker. He's dead. So you find out in the story that the heroes go to another Earth, an alternate Earth, and they pull that Green Arrow, which I'm sure, of course, they didn't just kidnap him. They, asked him and everything. But my thing is, what about the Black Canary on that Earth? What about his family on that Earth? What about the Justice League on that Earth? What's going on there? Why did he just up and leave all of them to come here and then just start up a relationship with a different Earth's Black Canary? It doesn't make any freaking sense to me. Maybe that's because I skipped through some things and I didn't really listen to everything just because I was trying to play through the game. But just from my understanding, that's what happened. And I guess the biggest thing that I could say right now, like the perfect person I could choose to replace him would have been Static. It was revealed to us a few months ago that Static was originally set to be in the game as part of the main roster. Not DLC, but the main roster. But at the last minute, he was cut. We saw his character design, what he looked like, and everything, and it was really cool. He got cut, but a character like Green Arrow stayed in the game. And like I said, he died in the first game. So he could have stayed out of the game and it would have been fine. And we could have had a tougher Black Canary, a more angry Black Canary, a vengeful Black Canary, if you will. And I mean, she's already, vengeful against Superman, but it could have changed her character dynamic that much more and made her a lot deadlier, in my opinion. And of course, we could have gotten a hero like Static instead, who fans actually have wanted since Injustice 1, excuse me. And I know I've been wanting him since Injustice 1, which came out, what, in 2013? So that's 4 years of wanting a character, but we got Green Arrow instead. So, I mean, that's that. Fourth on my list, I'm going to have to go with Scarecrow, because sort of a very small impact on the story. I do like that he was put in the game. It was a bit different. His playstyle is a bit it's a bit odd and a little creepy, but I mean, I guess that's kind of Scarecrow's thing. And it is cool to see a different Batman villain in the game, but you know, there are a lot of Batman related characters in this game already, as there was in the first one, and that's what a lot of people complained about. So here we are again with, you know, another Batman villain, but I think there could have been tons of other villains that could have been put in Scarecrow's place. Like for me, I'm going to say Star Sapphire, because the female side of the roster is again sorely lacking, as it was in the first game. Now we know we're getting Starfire and we've got a few other female characters, but we still do need more. And I think if not Star Sapphire, then we could have gotten, even Giganta would have been a lot better than Scarecrow, in my opinion. Just because, once again, very small impact on the story, and Giganta, I feel like, would have had a better impact on the story because of her relationship with Grodd, which, you know, would have been cool, but hey, it's alright. And then last but not, or well, I guess last and least, is Swamp Thing. And once again, very minimal impact on the story. He didn't really do much. You fought him a couple times, you see him a couple times. I really think that Joker and Swamp Thing could have honestly been just what's the word I'm looking for? Easter eggs. There you go. They could have been just like little teases in the story. You know, like Swamp Thing could have showed up in the Slaughter Swamp, of course, and you know, when they asked him for help, he could have just said, you know, I'm protecting the green. As long as the green isn't, you know, in danger, then I have no reason to help you, and then just, you know, disappeared in the swamp. So when things are going bad, you know, he could show up in a cutscene and just demolish some people to protect the green. But he didn't need to be a character. Now, I know a lot of people did want him, and a lot of people petitioned for him, begged Ed Boon for him since Injustice 1 and since Injustice 2 was announced. But just for me personally, I kind of feel like Swamp Thing was a waste. He doesn't seem like one of those like really major characters, you know what I mean? Like, I guess since Poison Ivy's in the game, you had to put Swamp Thing, which, you know, just guy and girl version of almost the same character. I'm not going to compare them too much, but you know, theoretically they're almost the same in terms of, you know, the green and plant life and everything and all that. And I feel like Poison Ivy would have been enough. Swamp Thing was just overdoing it a bit. But that's my list, guys. I know there's a lot of other characters in this game that other people feel like are a waste. I know some people feel like Sub-Zero was a waste, but he's a guest character DLC and was one of my top requested characters. I'm still going to hold out hope for Static in Injustice 2. There's a slim chance of hope. I really hope that he ends up in Injustice 2. So we'll see what happens, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.